this UAB academic community is built with you and for you. And that's very, very important for everybody to know. Welcome to our second episode of International UAB. Întâi decembrie 1918, University of Alba, Iulia invites you to explore international education, to explore opportunities that are available both for students and for staff, and to a conversation that really dives in, hopefully, into the challenges of studying abroad. You know, we live in a world that is so dizzying in the changes that are happening all around us. And between nations and between people, there are so many differences that sometimes weigh upon us. But in the same time, if you put your mind to it, and if you see those differences as an opportunity to grow, then that change of perspective in life might help you reach your goals and your dreams. So that's why I think that international education is more than just a way to study abroad. It is a way to change your perspective of life, to open your eyes to things that you might not have done until then. And this is a great opportunity for us to see exactly what international education means for students, because today I'm very excited to have two guests that are studying at our university. Alexandra Nestorik. She's a student, a master's student in English language, culture and civilization in a European context. And Alexandru Neagu, a bachelor degree student in marketing. Both of them are actually coming from different countries. Alexandru from the Republic of Moldova and Asia from Ukraine. And both have been involved in Erasmus mobilities, and for them, international education is a reality. So their experiences, the way they faced the challenges that international education has, the way that this experience has helped them grow, I think is probably very enlightening for those of you who might think about studying abroad but are not decided yet or are on the fence. So I'm very excited to welcome you both. How are you?
Really fine, thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Yeah, great. Thank you. That's an amazing opportunity to spend time here and have this talk.
Okay, so let's dive right in. I would like first and foremost to cover some topics that are really personal, and especially with you, Asia, because you are coming from Ukraine. Ukraine now is a war-torn country. Maybe the factors that have contributed to your decision to study abroad are external or internal. Please talk about that. What made you decide to go abroad and study, first with Erasmus mobility?
Yeah, so the first time when I went here with Erasmus mobility was in February 2023. And it was already a year of war, but it wasn't the main factor that brought me here. The first thing that I had in mind is an opportunity to see the world, an opportunity to see another country and experience education in another system. It was a little bit scary, and I was nervous, but still, I decided to take this chance to go abroad for the first time in my life for a kind of long period of time. It's a whole semester, and it was my first time abroad. So I mostly saw it as a thing to do, to have some memories, and to have some comparison with the way I live now.
There is a lot of fear when you make that decision, because it's the fear of the unknown. How did you choose Romania, or what contributed to the fact that you said, okay, I want to study in Alba, Iulia?
Well, I guess it was the one mobility at that point that was long, because there were plenty of mixed mobilities, but this one was the half a year thing, and I thought that why not? And I didn't really have anything to choose much from.
Okay.
And I Googled everything. I saw that Alba Iulia is a beautiful city. I know that our universities have some relations, and I thought that it's a great thing to do.
For your colleagues back in Poltava, Alexandra Asia, is coming from National University Yuri Kondratyuk Poltava Polytechnic. Now you are a full-time student of our university, but for your peers in Poltava that would like to study abroad, what would you tell them, or better yet, was it difficult to apply and end up with an Erasmus mobility in Romania?
It wasn't at all, because the whole system with the websites and with the information that is needed to be put there, it was great. Like, very clear and step by step, and we could do it at home, So, yeah, and we always had our coordinators next to us who would answer our questions, who would come to help, explain, and it's a great thing that you not only have one try, to apply. If you made a mistake or something, you can change it and everything will be okay. So it's great. You feel safe. Kind of.
So what you're saying is that applying for Erasmus and going abroad with an Erasmus mobility is a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Good. That's very important for students that are questioning what is Erasmus and how do I apply, and is the process burdensome and administrative? Well, it is not. But I'm gonna go to Alex. Alex is also vice president of the Erasmus Student Network Alba Iulia section. For those of you that don't know, Erasmus Student Network is the biggest international association for students in the world. It has a footprint in more than 44 countries, and it brings together students that have an Erasmus experience and that want to help other students, their peers, to have the same opportunity. So, Alexandru, you have been with Erasmus for a long-term mobility, a study mobility for one semester in Turkey.
Exactly.
Can you please tell your colleagues what was the process like for applying and everything that you had to do in order for you to go study in Turkey?
All right, let's start from scratch. Initially, there is a apply period, which is usually at roughly the half of the second semester. The period is almost 1 month, in which you have to submit all the necessary documents and go through a process, which I'll explain in detail. After that, you would go through an interview. So looking over the actual process, first you'd have to ask or look for the list of opportunities that you have. If you go for study semester mobility, there is a list provided by our university on all the official social media channels and website, and also other communities. By looking over at that list, you'd have to find your major/specialization and see in what countries you can go, what universities our university has agreements with, and spoiler alert, it has a lot, so you have to do your research carefully.
If you allow me another spoiler alert, our university is one of the top universities when it comes to implementing the Erasmus program and giving our status in the landscape of higher education in Romania. I think that we are the best in terms of attracting funding from the European Commission, from the national agency, but also in terms of being supportive of our students and giving them as many opportunities as possible. But please.
I would totally agree, and I definitely go over on the point that probably our university is one of the best, not probably, but is the best one regarding Erasmus opportunities in Romania. Anyway, going back to the whole process, it might sound scary at first, but if you take it step by step, as mentioned previously, it's a piece of cake. So after looking at that list of agreements that our university has, say you restrict yourself from maybe 80 choices, yes, they have 80, to maybe like 5. And you'd go over the universities, you'd consider in your thinking process, you might think differently, but overall there might be a similar decision process. First being maybe what country would you like to go in, what budget constraints do you have, another spoiler alert, no worries, our university got you regarding the Erasmus grant and also informational and financial support.
Not only that, but our university is really attached to the principle of co-financing. So Erasmus mobilities are based on the principle of co-financing. So participants should have some own resources when it comes to implementing their study period abroad. But starting in 2025, our university from its own resources contributes with a top-up, with a grant that helps students cover that co-financing principle. So.
Should we mention the numbers too, maybe?
Yeah, of course, if you want to.
At the last session, when we promoted the Erasmus program, it was somewhere between 800 and 1,000 something euros per month. But again, it depends on how far you go and several other factors for which the Erasmus grant is calculated. But in any case, it's enough. Now, going back to the actual process. So after you look at and consider several constraints, let's say, like the country you want to go, doing a little bit of research, and that's actually the thing I would recommend to do is do actually specific research, see how the university is like, what facilities it has and all of that, because depending on how well you research, that's basically going to be the result of your mobility.
And for this point, I have a very specific question. What made you choose the university in Turkey? You've done your research. What was it that convinced you, this is where I want to study for one semester?
I would say there are lots of factors, starting off with the fact that I was already, it might be personal, I was already in Turkey previously with a blended intensive program. For context, 1 week mobility, which also might contain virtual component, in which you go and study a certain topic along with other partners, universities and students from all over Europe. And actually, might be over the world too, because we had another BIP which we had students from China. In any case, starting off with that, the fact that I was already there and I kind of did my research physically, and talked with lots of professors, which recommended me to go there. Another factor is probably a familiar process with all the students that apply to university. You'd go on Google and search university rankings, and thankfully, when I did I looked over the rankings. All of the universities were pretty high, and that was the Kuzilul University, which is in Izmir, Turkey, was pretty at the top. That being one of the factors.
Can you please go back to how to apply and how it is that you arrange a mobility? So you apply, our university gives you the grant, you've chosen the institution where you want to study, but what are you going to study actually? And
Exactly.
what will be the impact on your own studies here at UAB when you return?
Thanks for pointing that out. So after you selected and did your research very, very carefully, now you have to actually look for the courses that you might study there. The way Erasmus exchange works is you basically, let's say next semester I'm a first semester, I'll do certain courses here. I would have to find similar courses. Very careful here. Not exactly the same name, but the content of the actual. So it doesn't have to be like the exact name economics. Economics can be different, but the actual component of the lecture should be similar.
Not only contents, but we are mostly looking at competences, abilities, and knowledge that students gain during their mobility. So when it comes to equating courses and recognizing the learning outcomes that you have abroad, we are looking at competences gained, at abilities gained, and of course knowledge, and that is connected to the contents of the courses.
Yeah, I guess Alex is talking about the subject that the course is working with.
Exactly,
Like
the
it's
learning
similar.
agreement.
Yeah.
All right. So after you carefully have your courses from our university, from your home university, you have to find the courses that you will equate with the other university. So say you choose the Kuzilul University, you'd go over on their website and look for the courses that they provide. Most of them, most of the universities, it depends on the website, have a specific section for Erasmus or a specific section for the Erasmus courses. So you do your research carefully. Otherwise, you can ask for help from your home university or that university, shoot them an email politely, ask for the courses and explain your situation.
This is a very good point, and I would like to for you to talk a bit, and I will start with Asia, because she was an incoming student, you were an outgoing student. So Asia, was it difficult to find courses to study here? Was it difficult for your own subjects in Poltava, or for your own studies in Poltava to find the best matches?
Yeah, so for my bachelor's degree in Ukraine, I studied translation. And in UAB, it was the point that all my subjects, 9 out of 10, all the time, they were similar. Even the name was similar. And for me, it was easier than for another students, because some guys from management, from economics, from accounting, they struggled with finding something particular so that they don't skip the things they should learn in Ukraine. And for them, it was a long process. For me personally, it wasn't, because the linguistics, it's very, I don't want to say simple, but it's simple in what we study, because it's a very long process. You can spend your whole life learning some language or taking this language into parts. So usually it's easy to find the equivalents. And for me, it was no problem. I guess I'm just lucky or something. But yeah, it was amazing. It was great. I just found the same name and put it, and no problem.
It's
with
also
that.
important to note that most universities across Europe that are implementing Erasmus, and more so in our institution, we do have specialized people that are there to help students find the equivalence. For instance, each subject area in our university has an Erasmus coordinator or an international relations coordinator that is there to offer support in finding the best matches when it comes to courses. You both had a certain list of expectations, as Alex was pointing out. You started your mobility, you started studying Asya at UAB and Alex in Izmir. You had this package of expectations before leaving home. How did reality compare with those expectations, Asya?
Oh, for me, it was a big process because even if we don't want, there are some stereotypes in the world that we are getting, impacted by. And there are stereotypes about Ukraine, stereotypes about Romania, about, Italy or something. And of course you have some picture in your head if you never visited the place. And I was kind of nervous first time because I knew nothing particular about Romania. I didn't know what traditions there are and stuff, so I was confused. But at the same time, I was thinking that Romania is in the European Union and it's a European country, developed and everything. And I explored the UAB site. And my expectations, they all became reality, I would say. In reality, it was even better than I thought it would be. I didn't expect such warmth and, understanding, but I mean, it's just on that level that you don't expect it to be usually in the place you study at, because it's a pretty close and warm relationships between professors and students, as for me, for my personal experience, what I thought. And everything that I expected, it became true, basically.
From an Erasmus student that was here with Erasmus Mobilities for 3 semesters, actually.
Yeah.
You had 2 full-time semester studies with an Erasmus grant, and the third one was with no grant Erasmus. Still an Erasmus Mobility, but with no grant from the European Commission, right? But that led you, that experience, that Erasmus experience led you to become a full-time student of Alba, Iulia, of our university. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that decision process.
I just fell in love with the place. 3 semesters, it's a long time when you think about it. It's like a year and a half that I spent here. And I already met some people here. I made friends. I know how the things are going. And for me, I just catch the vibe, how can you say, of the city and of everything that is going on. And I just felt like I started catching myself on the thought that I'm feeling at home here. And when I was spending summers at my place in Ukraine, I was thinking that it would be great to do this in Romania. It would be great for my Romanian friends to experience this with me and everything. And I just started thinking about coming back more usual and everything. And I just thought that you can't live all the time on Erasmus mobilities. And especially it was a great timing. Time played a great role because I just finished bachelor's and I had this opportunity to do master's. In Ukraine and somewhere or just somewhere. And I contacted the Erasmus office and turned out that there is a thing, especially for Ukrainian students, that you can apply and you can wait for the answer, and you theoretically can become a full-time student. And I already met people while I had my mobilities who are international students full-time. So I knew that this thing exists, and I was like, why not?
Yeah.
If you don't try, you can regret it all the time. If you try and get no response, you can understand that, well, it's not my chance, maybe next time. But if you really have the win, you will be happy and glad, and you will be proud of yourself. So I saw the opportunity and I decided to use it, and that's how it turned. Now we're here.
Not only that, but Romania has scholarships not only for Ukrainian students or for students from Republic of Moldova, but Romania has scholarships for students across the world. So the process is really simple, as Asia said. You need to apply, and we process your documents, and most likely, if you have good grades in your previous studies, you are going to be able to become a scholarship holder and study at UAB. Not only that, but starting in 2025, starting this year, our university is going to implement the UAB scholarship holder program, where we are going to offer scholarships, tuition-free studies and free accommodation for students across the world that are going to come and study at our English language program. So that's bachelor degree for business administration, computer science, but also master degree in business administration and English language, culture, civilization in European context, where Asia is a student. Going back still to Erasmus, Alex, I want you to talk a bit about your expectations when you decided to go in Turkey and study for one semester, and the reality of studying there.
I know very maybe some of you that were waiting, like, what's the next step? You stopped, you didn't mention. So yeah, actually, expectations are another step. Going a bit to give a bit of context, you had the actual applying procedure. You go for an interview, you explain your motivation, how you'll disseminate and promote the Erasmus mobility and everything that you learned there, so you can motivate other students to go in Erasmus. And after that, you go for a set of steps, which is mostly you get info from the university regarding like your acceptance to the other universities and general information on the little steps you'll have to take, like send me a specific document or stuff like this. And after that, obviously, you buy a plane ticket, you arrive there, and that's where you get to the expectations part. Or at least the change in expectations, let's say. Since I was already there, it's somewhat mixed. You might take it that I either had overly positive or overly negative expectations. Since I already knew the environment and most of the teachers, I had a good understanding, and I expected things to go smoothly, and they almost did. Therefore,
tell us one or two challenges that you had studying there.
Well, let's start with the courses. So as we mentioned previously, you have to equate your courses. After I did my, as Sir said, you get help from your Erasmus coordinator, and they approve the evaluation process of your courses that you're going to study. That's when you get the green light for going there. So I had green light. I was happy. When I went there, there's also this thing that is called changes in your learning agreement, which I was faced upon. Things happen. So, for example, in my case, 2 of the 7 courses that were initially set in stone had to be changed with another because there was it depends on the university's policy, the partner's policy. They might have stuff like not enough applicants for this year, that's why they might remove the course, or circumstantial situations. But it was not a problem. Everything can be solved, and it's actually quite easy. I just contacted my Erasmus coordinator. You also get an Erasmus coordinator there. I contacted them. I had a talk. They explained me the situation, why it's like this, and why I have to do the changes. They offered me some solutions, and I had to check with the Erasmus coordinator back at home. After looking again carefully at all the courses, I fixed the situation. I got approval from both of the Erasmus coordinators, and I got another green light for a semester.
I'm really happy that you are technical and you are trying to tell students what it means to actually navigate the challenges of Erasmus, because, of course, we are trying to make the administrative process as simple as possible, but there are still things that you need to do. Fill in a learning agreement, choose courses, maybe get faced with the situation where the courses that you first chose are not available anymore. But beyond the technical, beyond academics, there is an impact on a personal and cultural level. You are in a different city where people do not speak your language. You are tasting foods that have a very different taste from what you were used to. You are in an unfamiliar environment that maybe sometimes feel like a pressure cooker. How do you get out of that? How do you adapt? How do you interact with people so that you go beyond misunderstandings and challenge differences and open your eyes to new ways of life and open your mind to understanding? Yeah. So in terms of that, the greatest challenge or cultural experience that you had to face?
Obviously, yeah, there's thing that's called a cultural shock.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, regarding that, I'm a Christian Orthodox by religion, and in Turkey, most of them are Muslims. That might be one of the things. Adapting to a different cultural background, and that's where another point of the Erasmus program is to understand how things work in another country, and specifically more on the cultural aspect. Therefore, when you are a guest to the country, first of all, and you have to have the understanding of the fact that you have to respect their culture, and as a guest, you should be careful regarding everything that you do. That doesn't mean being restrictive. That just means being open to understand that people, especially from a different country, might have different perspective, and that is totally fine. Not necessarily a challenge. I'll just say I had some situation in which not everyone knows English. Therefore, you might get challenged in situations when you go, for example, to buy something from the store. It was actually several times until we actually became friends with the the guys from the store, and they started understanding us. But there's always the first step that's the hardest, but after that it's easy. Thankfully nowadays we have technology, and you can use tools like Google Translate, so we got over challenges like this real quickly. Situations like how much does it cost? They would just write the numbers on a calculator or like by pen. So you also kind of another thing I actually experienced there is you start focusing more, since you don't understand the language, you start developing like a sixth sense, and by that I mean you start looking at other things, the actual language you speak. You start looking at the non-verbal stuff, how they react, their body language, how they express themselves, the emotions and all of that. And that's why, like I said, you kind of go into another dimension and you start understanding more about communication, especially in an intercultural environment.
How was it for you, Asia, to navigate those small or big cultural differences and perhaps misunderstandings?
I guess there are less cultural differences between Romania and Ukraine than between Romania and Turkey, for example, if that's the subjects we're talking about. So most of the things were okay for me. I also wanted to highlight the fact that I was born and raised in the respect mode for everything, for different cultures, for different religions, foods and everything. So I think it's a very personal stuff as well. I traveled through Ukraine, went to summer camps and met a lot of people. So that's why I learned to accept that we're all different, and that when you come somewhere which is not your home, as Alex said as well, you are a guest and you have to respect and you have to adapt, because that's where you came and that's from where you want to take something and not tell people, what to do. There were some things that I was confused with first time. I can give you an example if it's okay. There is a big difference in the speed of life in Romania and in Ukraine. In Ukraine, people are just going like this, that, we do one, next. When I came to Romania, I went to the store, and it wasn't like, this self thing that you pay yourself. You had to be in a queue. And I just saw that everything is slow, the slow process. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just here. Maybe it's that time of the day. I don't know. Then I went to the bank. Again, a lot of papers, everything is slow, nobody's rushing anywhere. And I see that nobody except of me is bothered. And then I understood, I guess that's the way people live. And I didn't take it as something bad, like, oh, why are they so slow, and why don't they do everything faster? I was just like, it's a nice thing because you can catch the moment. Mm-hmm. And you are not that nervous if you're working, for example, with the documents or something. You have a time to breathe and think. So yeah, it's just like one of the main highlights. Also, I noticed how musical Romanians are. It's the thing. In Ukraine, it's also very popular stuff, obviously. But in Romania, you hear the music somewhere and you see like people moving or something. And I noticed this for myself. And there is a difference in cuisine between Romania and Ukraine. We are different. There are some similarities. But I had to gain some new experiences with food. And most of the time, it was amazing and great. And I even took some recipes home and made it for my parents and my friends. And yeah, that's a great thing. I think that's the cultural exchange, how it should be. To understand, to see, to try, and just be involved in the environment where you remain for the moment.
Yeah, of course. This is part of training of intercultural communication and multicultural environments that Centers for International Relations in different universities should do, and we do it. We are organizing intensive programs for our students to get that feeling and to learn how to navigate multicultural environments. Because, and I love what you said about Romanians being slower in their daily lives than Ukraine, because my first experience in Greece was with an expert on international relations that was in his 50s, and he gave me a lecture about understanding life in northern Greece. They have a word to describe that way of life, meaning halara. That is actually take it slow. So if Romanians seem to you as slow, then you don't want to go to northern Greece, because for them halara is a concept of life. It is take it slow. Nothing is unsolvable. Everything has its own rhythm, its own solution, and if you take your time to kind of let things settle, you might be more successful. I don't know if that's the case when it comes to your experience with how Romanians do things, but this is the concept of Greece. Both of you, from what you just told us, are speaking about growth. You are growing in an environment that pushes you to become adaptable. You developed a sixth sense.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
It's not necessarily a sixth sense, because body language is part of communicating, but I love that. You need to find solutions to the problems that you face in the moment. You are in an unfamiliar environment, so you need to adapt. And that speaks about personal growth and overcoming challenges and what actually international education is. I want everybody that is listening and watching us to understand that having an international educational opportunity means overcoming challenges more easily throughout life, means personal growth. And I want to talk a bit about this, because yes, you are growing, you are adapting, but you still have moments of loneliness when you are abroad, when you are in an unfamiliar territory, in a city that doesn't speak your language, and a restaurant that doesn't offer your kind of food. You feel homesickness. You miss the familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe both of you had that. And I think for most UAB students, it's going to be your experience is going to be easier to comprehend, because both of you are already studying abroad.
Yeah.
Alex, when you went to Turkey, you were a Romanian student, but actually coming from the Republic of Moldova. You were away from home. In your case, now you are away from home, a full-time student of UAB, and we were talking several days ago. Maybe you are going to go abroad again with Erasmus mobility. So, how do you cope with that? Loneliness, homesickness. What are the things that you need to overcome them?
I can't say that there would be like no such feelings at all. Obviously they are, and that's where the Erasmus Student Network comes in. And not only that, best recommendation when you from all the other previous participants of the Erasmus program is that you should go together with a friend. Even though you go by yourself, and yes, I was with a friend, but I was lonely at times too. You might get a little bit of this feeling. first of all, the university universities that accept Erasmus students are trying to create events. For example, we had some let's say interesting games from the Guzilul universities in which we won little prizes like bags or power banks and stuff like this. That's one environment the university tries to create and making you feel safe and not alone. Then there's the Erasmus Student Network, which specializes in that actually, and they organize lots and lots and lots of events, and they take care of the Erasmus students that come in, starting from their arrival and finishing with their last day of mobility, and also 1 or 2 months after the mobility, just checking in case and see if they maybe they want to return back, as we actually get lots of positive responses regarding that too, as is the case with ASEA. That's another way to cope. It's already a preset environment in which you can feel comfortable. Assuming you might be a different type of person and don't really like to hang out and go to the usual socializing events, they have big spectrum regarding all the ESNs, all the events ESN organizes, and they try to target as many types of people as possible, and also try to target as many causes as possible, like for example social impact or cultural impact. They have different themes, so you very easily can find yourself a place in an event and get another friend or two. And it's actually great. And even if it's hard, and I totally understand because everyone is different, you can still find someone, because first of all you have an Erasmus buddy when you go abroad with Erasmus, and they are probably the best people, like the most receptive type of people I ever met, because they fulfill their roles really well and always check in with you. So assuming you didn't go to any event, you didn't go out at all, you stayed all day and studied, they check in with you, and they actually try to get you out of your house and see if everything is all right, or maybe they actually come over to you, have a sip of tea, have a sip of coffee if you're in Turkey.
Okay, this is a very important skill to get, how to adapt and how to overcome moments of loneliness, homesickness, and so on. How did you cope with that, Alcia?
Yeah, I wanted to come back one step back, and when we were talking about challenges, I also heard the word problem that we all used. I think that the main thing that people who are coming for the mobility should know, that don't take it as a problem. Take it as a challenge. Use this word, because challenges can be accepted, they can be completed, that they can be overcame or something. Problem is something scary, big and dark, and there is no problems. It's just challenges, new experiences, a lot of new people, many emotions that may confuse you, because even if it's positive emotions, it can be too much, and then your brain, your body starts panicking. So you should just take in count that everything is okay and nothing is going to happen, and there are people around who want to see you, who want to be with you. Even if you think, oh, who needs me here, like I came alone, it's a different country. It's not true. People want to make acquaintance. People want to make friends, long-time friends. I even have, if it's okay to mention this, I have friends who met on Erasmus and now they are married.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a lot of things. So, be open for people and don't try to close. Go to the museum if you don't want to go to a party. If you don't want to go to a museum, go to a party. It works backwards. Just use the opportunity. And for me, when I felt lonely, it happened to me sometimes, and it happened to me recently. think about the fact that you can go somewhere, even just for a walk. See people, that life is going on, sun is shining, everything is okay, rain is falling, and you are in another country. You are experiencing another environment and gaining a huge pack of memories for yourself, for the future. And also think about the fact that we're so lucky to live in the modern times when we can just open the WhatsApp, call, I don't know, friends, call mom, call dad on video, see them, talk to them, and just say that you love each other and that you're here. And always think that you have an opportunity to come back. You have home, and it's not, if you don't want it to be forever, it won't be forever. You can pack and go home. Believe me, I know this from my experience. And it's super great to know that you have somewhere to come back. Because when you lose this opportunity, if you can lose this opportunity, it's very, very sad, and that becomes a problem. But you have just to keep in mind that there is always a place waiting for you, and you're not lost, you're not abandoned or something. You're just having another colors in the album that you're doing of your life.
Exactly. In the last 38 years since the Erasmus program has been founded by the European Commission in 1987, more than 10 million people have grabbed this opportunity. And I loved what you said about being part of a family. Erasmus has created families, international families, and Erasmus has built, as is an international student network, Erasmus student network, a huge family. This is very important for me, especially and for us as a Center for International Relations, because of what we are trying to offer to our international students and Erasmus students is that feeling that they belong.
Yeah.
You might feel lonely, you might feel homesick, you might have your own personal issues, but we are trying to show you with our student volunteers, with our international relations coordinators, with the way professors interact with our international students. We are trying to show everyone that you belong. This UAB academic community is built with you and for you.
Yes.
And that's very, very important for everybody to know. I had a conversation more than a week ago with Alex regarding the impact that an international educational experience might have in the future on your professional perspectives, yes, and what it means to compete in a global labor market with students and graduates from so many different countries, from so many different backgrounds, with so many different skills, competences, and so on. What is it that an international educational experience gives you in terms of competences, abilities, and knowledge to be more competitive in the labor market than other graduates that did not have an educational experience in international settings?
I believe it starts with what Asia said, in the sense that it opens your mind and kind of gives you another set of eyes to see things differently. If your vision was narrow like this until now, it's more broad now. Again, you can observe a set of things, and you're more open to understanding lots of different things, and I appreciate the diversity that exists now in the world, because since our world is becoming more and more globalized now. That's why I think it's a good thing that universities, the European Union, and all other possible organizations, they try to push more and more on students to implement for themselves these types of programs, because there's the classic that it looks nice on the CV, but where's the actual experience that you get, and you start fostering kind of a cult for yourself in growing and understanding more. Another thing is that you start to become more of a team player. Since you're already accustomed to working with other people, being more forward, and especially in an intercultural environment, because it's hard, it gets you out of your comfort zone, and you'd have to believe me that nobody will come for you. You'd have in the sense that you have to be outgoing. You have to make it forward to push yourself upper and more forward, so people can actually see you. And that's one thing that really, one mindset that you start to develop after in Erasmus, and it makes you more visible and makes you stronger, and
So
it helps you a lot on professional.
it's not a line in a resume, it's a statement. I have taken the leap forward.
Exactly.
I've went out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I have proven already that I am adaptable, that I got the skills to work with other people very different from me. I've done problem solving in team efforts with students that are coming from different countries. So it's a statement that, look, this is really what I'm bringing as an added value to this company, to your company. It's not just I have this experience of studying for one semester at X university in X country. How do you look at that, Asia?
Yeah, I agree with what you both said, and I think it really shows that you can adapt. It shows that you can survive in different states, in different points of life, in different countries. It shows that you can communicate on different levels, because culture can be very tricky. So you have to be like smoother here, like upper there, something like this. So you can build up with the situation. And I also wanted to say that if you're working for your future, taking this mobility opportunities, you can actually get recommendations from the professors. If you are going to all the classes, if you're being a respectful student, if you're being active in the events and stuff, you can come in the end of your mobility and gently ask one or two professors to give you the recommendation that you can use in the future to describe yourself at the working place, at another, study place, at the courses and everything. It gives you more opportunities, and it's true. So.
It feels like, and this is one thing that I am trying to build through these episodes or these conversations. I'm visualizing bridges between people that have differences that might lead to misunderstandings, but I'm visualizing bridges between those differences between people, and those bridges become the bulldozers that go through barriers and dismantle them. International education, and what you've very beautifully talked about, is a journey. It might be a personal one, but of course it is also a professional one where you have the whole village, right, cheering for you. And this should be exactly like this. Of course, there are challenges. Of course, there are problems that you are going to face. But rest assured that there are also people that are there with you in trying to find the best solutions. But let's go back a bit. If you were to take it from the start, would you hesitate in coming to Alba, Iulia? Would you hesitate in going to Turkey? Asia?
No. That's all. I mean, no.
No.
That's really what I mean. I guess it's enough with the confidence I'm saying it. I wouldn't be who I've become now without this experience. It gave me so many lessons. It gave me so many opportunities. I saw so many countries traveling from here. I gained lots and lots of friends in every corner of the world. I somehow experienced life for a couple of seconds through them, from where they come. And it builds you from the inside. How you see the things, what do you want, where you want to lead. If you see yourself somewhere else in the world than where you come from. This is the statement thing in the life of every person who is ready to take this opportunity. So do not hesitate, grab it, hold on it, and see it, live through it, breathe it, I don't know, everything. Just do it, as we know.
That's the perfect message. Just do it.
Yeah.
Alex?
Absolutely not. I mean, if I would have the possibility to stop time, I would go back, apply for a different type of a different country or different university, and apply to as many as possible. And after I apply to all of them, I would go to another university from where I can go into other mobilities. And when I finish of all the university, I'd probably turn on back time again. But realistically speaking, I wouldn't, because as Asia said, this is what makes you makes you grow as a person. And even if you might question yourself, how will this impact me professionally? And there are also other aspects such as the networking, from which you can build many relationships. And you never know when an opportunity can just come like this to you. And again, it makes you more visible.
I would like to just point out the fact that our university is so focused on internationalization and attracting international students and giving opportunities for our students to go abroad with Erasmus mobility, because we understood that importance. We understood where you are coming from, and I'm so very happy that I had you as guests in our podcast. I'm sure that we are going to see each other again. Of course, our conversation does come to an end, but the journey doesn't stop here. If you are a student, either at UAB or in any other university across the world, what the message of Alex and Asia tells you is, don't hesitate. There are, of course, challenges, there are problems, you will always face them, you are going to have fears, you need to confront them. The world is bigger than the place that you call home. Family and belonging can be found wherever you put your mind to uncover it. Your stories are about wisdom, about personal growth, about how exchange and mobilities and whatever education in international settings brings, about the fact that this is tearing down barriers to the unknown, and it's a personal growth journey. So I'm again very, very happy to have you both on our podcast. I have to thank my colleagues from the Faculty of Orthodox Theology. We have a bachelor degree program in cinematography, photo, and media. And they are the ones who are producing the podcast and are behind the cameras and the sound. So thank you very much to Florin Iordache, to Radu Aflare, and to Raresh Tsetku. Florin is a senior lecturer in our university, so come apply, become an international student for cinematography, and you will learn a lot from him. Radu and Raresh are first year students, and they are very, very good at what they do, so I'm really thankful for their help. Until next time, which probably will be sometime at the end of April, if you liked our conversation, share it. Comment on our social media platforms. On Instagram, look for UAB IRO, International Relations Office, on Facebook, and so on and so forth. We have TikTok, we have ESN media accounts. We are going to be present wherever. Comment, like, and so on. Until next time, please stay curious, stay open, and keep exploring.